Sorry about that. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Can you hear me? I wondered why the microphone was blinking. I apologize, guys. Thank you guys so much for your patience. I don't know how much, actually, you probably didn't catch any of that. I was actually sitting here talking about rushing, trying to get in here, and I felt like I was forgetting something. The one thing that I was forgetting was my phone. I like to keep that nearby so that I can see all the things, but it's okay. Thank you guys so much for being here. Welcome to the midweek live stream, right? So this used to be a Tuesday situation, and we have morphed into a Wednesday. So yeah, hello, Ravina. Hello, everybody. Huge hello to all of you guys. Hello, Kendall and Rachel and Lamar. Welcome in. Okay, so I've got a bunch of things to talk about and all of that. So we're still going to do Let's Chat Stitches. I have a little game here that we're going to play. Let's see here. We have a game, we have terms, we have recaps of like things that I've shown before. I'm going to show pieces of work that I've done in the past, and we're going to talk about those stitches and what they look like in work and all of that. I also want to mention to you guys that there is a poll on the community tab. There is a huge reason why I put that there. Just a friendly reminder that if you haven't participated in those polls, please do that, because it's helping to shape the crochet along for the spring. And I know I mentioned it to the members, but first chance, I'm telling you guys. Now, we had polls out last week, but I kind of sort of didn't mention the purpose behind the polls. And so with that, I just want to reiterate, the polls are there. The polls are actually going to help me kind of shape where I want to go with the crochet along. At the end of the day, the decision still is mine to make, but input from you guys would be appreciated. Okay? So I think there are only 2 polls. And as it stands right now, see, this is something that I would do on my phone. But we don't have the phone, right? So that's okay. I'm just going to check very quickly for the poll. And as it stands right now, let me go. Let's see. For the first one where it says, for a potential crochet along project where tutorials will be provided, which blanket type do you prefer the most? 47% so far have put down for the back and forth from bottom to top. And then in second place, we have in the round, but a rectangle shape. Third place so far is in the round, circle mandala style. And then last but not least, in the round for a square. And then for the poll before that one that I put there, it says, for a potential crochet along project where tutorials will be provided, how many different stitches would you like to see in a designed blanket project? Well, 63% of you guys put down, keep it simple, only 1 to 5 stitches. Second place was, let's explore, 5 to 10 stitches. And then 14% said, the sky's the limit, 15 or more. Now, mind you, we have almost 700 votes for these polls so far. So very, very interesting. Very interesting. So, I'm looking at it. I'm paying attention to it. So if you want different results, make sure that you're going back there and checking the votes that you cast. All right. Okay. So with that being said, well, first of all, thank you all so much for the purple hearts. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Colette says, I thought for sure minds would change after Monday. You know what? It literally solidifies what was originally posted, because some of you may remember I had polls posted already, and we had almost 1,000 votes. We were nearing the 1,000 mark. And so I said, well, let me just test the theory really quick. So let me take those down and repost them. And we're getting kind of sort of the same result. So, yeah. Anyway, it's very It's a lot of things, you know. It's validating because I just want to make absolutely sure that I'm not putting anyone in over their heads, but also too, like, I love putting out a challenge. My members have, you know, I discussed this with them, and the vast majority of them said, "Hey, Juan, just do what you want to do. At the end of the day, if we're going to want to do it, we're going to do it. If we don't want to do it, we're not going to do it." I totally get that, but I really love involving you guys in the process. I get so much joy out of it. So good, bad, or in between, just having your input, even if it's not the final say, is a lot of fun. So for those of you guys who have participated, thank you. All right. So once again, a blanket hello. We have people still coming in. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Okay. By the way, this is the first Wednesday live stream in a very long time, I feel. It's been a while since we did a Wednesday live stream. So just so that you guys know, I know a lot of you guys like habit. You like to know when certain live streams are going. The whole Tuesday situation is now shifted over to Wednesday. All right. So in the future, what I'd like to do is put my tutorials out on Tuesday and potentially Thursday. So tutorial Tuesdays, tutorial Thursdays, that kind of a thing. But I'm not going to limit it to just those 2 days. You know what I mean? So anyway, thank you for being here. Okay. You're going to hear me say that like 10 more times. I'm sorry. Okay. So do I have any paper on the printer? Yes, I do. Let me grab it. I have some things that I want to share with you guys. It may not be really, it's not timely. But I have this right here. Really nice design here. It's, maybe it's a candy cane. I'm not sure. It's giving me candy cane. But yeah, I found this online at public domain. You can type in public domain crochet diagrams, and a bunch of these will come up if you're wondering how I source some of these. So anyway, I found this there. And it was very basic, and it gives me the ability to kind of walk you through a diagram. So we got that. I have a bunch of things here to show you. All right. So let's see here. I'm waiting for just a few more folks to come in, and then we'll get into the game. But for now, let's do some recapping. Let's see here. Okay, we've been recapping these for a while. So maybe we'll put these little ones to rest after this particular session. Remember these little cards? We're going to put these to rest after this week for a little while, you know, and if and when I bring them back, I'll bring them back with like actual 3x5 index cards instead of like pieces of paper that are cut up into boxes. So yeah, let's see. I was just looking at the colors of the loyalty badges, and we have actually been orange for the last year, and red starts at year 3. See, to me, the color that everyone is seeing right now, to me, that's red. It doesn't look like orange to me. Just like the 2-year mark allegedly is supposed to be like a hot pink. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. Like a burnt sienna, right? I don't know. Tomato, you know. But listen, I'm doing everything I can to change the color from hot pink to purple for 2 years. So I'm working on the things, guys. Now, they do offer the ability for me to put little badges of like whatever I want. So I can upload pictures and turn them into badges. The thing about that is if I upload an image, the image shows up, but then there's a white background. So like instead of the round discs, you see like this white square in the background with the actual picture of the badge. And I don't know how I feel about that. So I tried uploading my own version of things, and I didn't like how it turned out. So yeah. Anyway, the 2-year mark is Wednesday, this very next Wednesday, 1 week from today, will be the 2-year anniversary of having memberships on the channel. Huge milestone for us. It doesn't feel like it's been 2 years for memberships. It doesn't even feel like it's been 2.5 years since starting my channel. Ugh. Time is flying. Anyway, okay, let's get on with the show. And then, of course, again, since this is a midweek live, I'm not going to dedicate the entire live stream to Let's Chat Stitches. It's just going to be like a segment of the midweek. Okay. So let's go ahead and get this started. Let's review some of these stitches. And I'm pulling from cards here. My hair looks... I thought my hair was sticking straight up. I had to do a double take. I'm like, what is happening? It's fine. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and start with this first stitch here. Can anyone tell me what this stitch is? Hello, Kay. Welcome in. Any ideas? Pay attention to this bottom piece right here. That actually, it says more than just the actual label of this stitch here. This actually tells you where to place that stitch. Anybody with any ideas? Let's see. Kimberly M says double crochet in the front loop. Deb says double crochet in the front loop. Linda says back loop double. So for those who have mentioned double crochet front loop only, you are correct. A+. All right. Let's move on. Let's go to this one. We have 3 strikes on the T. What is that called? Any ideas? Okay, so far I see treble, I see double treble, and this is all U.S. terms, by the way, U.S. terms. Okay. It is called a double treble. Very good. All right. So, all right, here's one. Ready? What's this? What is this called? Spider? Kathy says spider. That's too funny. Is it really a spider? Let's see. We have 5-star. We have a shell. We have Marguerite stitch. Allen wrenches. I love that, Kendall. Allen wrenches. Dried up dandelion. Okay. Okay. So this here is called the Marguerite Cluster Star Stitch. So Marguerite, star, 5-point, all of that. A+. Good job. All right, let's go basic for a minute. What is this? Let's go basic. I mean, it's a dot, right? But in crochet, what does this dot mean? Let's see. We have anchor from Zoma. Hello to you, Zoma. Let's see. Yvette says start. Trish says slip stitch. Kimberly says end of pattern. And this is why I review these, right? It's always good to review. Start, stop, end. We've got lots of answers. We have Becca says slip stitch. Venus says stop. Okay, so let me just put everyone at ease. It's called the slip stitch. So all of your dots are slips. Okay. Now, for those who have mentioned start, the start of a pattern, it's going to be this. It's called the beginning of the work. Beginning of the work is a hollow triangle. And then for the solid triangle is going to be the end of the work. End of work. I apologize for my handwriting, guys. Some people think it's like neat. I think it's actually sloppy. But that's my handwriting. All right. What is this? I always get caught up with this one. What is that? Does anybody know? Mountain says stars. Oh, okay. Let's see. I'm looking. Overlap, Monica says. Okay. That's a good one. Overlap, right? A teardrop, Fontrella. Yes, it's a teardrop for sure. Slipknot, a loop, overlay. Monica says overlay. Chris Whitaker, overlay. Boohoo. Stop reading all of the comments as soon as they come out. All right. So anyway, it's called Surface Crochet. Surface Crochet, and you'll see them, these little teardrops, right? You'll see them over top of like a crochet pattern, and it's kind of telling you where to place your surface crochet stitches. And all it really is a slip stitch. You're going in and you're pulling the yarn up, and you're doing a slip, and you're just going in the direction that the pattern tells you to go. Yes, very, very good. Rage says a prison tattoo. I can't. I would also like to show this one. So this will be the last one. What is this one? And it's a really shabby like drawing, but you get the gist of it. What is this called? Any ideas? Okay. Army Mom says bouillon. Chris and Monica say bouillon. Kathy says tire pump. It does look like a tire pump to a bike, doesn't it? Oh, that's too funny. Anyway, yes, it is a bouillon stitch. It is the bouillon stitch. So for those of you guys who got that, great job. And for those of you guys who put funny answers in, good job to you guys too. We love that. Good evening for those of you guys coming in. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, you guys are too funny with your comments. All right, so let's just go through these very quickly. It's units of measurement in crochet and knitting. I just have a few. We went over these before. Let's just do these really quick. What does this mean? Have you ever used the bouillon stitch in any of your patterns? Yes. So you're going to find it in the Wildflower Oasis in week 5, I believe. Centimeter. Good job. Next is G. G is what? And so the big letter, it's a huge letter G, guys. It's huge. Graham, good job. I'm going to skip a few. We're not going to do every single one. I don't want to bore you to tears. Okay. And this is not where Dorothy is. This is an actual unit of measurements. All right. Ounce. Good job. And let's do one more. This one's a little tough, but it has a giveaway here. So it's either this or this. What are we calling this? Asterisk? Yes, Venus. This is an asterisk, but it also means this. Yes, inch. Good job, guys. Inch. All right. Moving right along. Love this for us. Okay. So I am going to pause. I have more cards, but these cards here are terms and like commonly used phrases in crocheting and knitting and fiber arts. We'll do these in a minute. Okay. What I want to do is I'm going to show you some yarn. We're going to play Guess That Yarn. I'm going to show you yarn and I'm going to ask, like, I'm going to show you and I'm going to ask you what you think that yarn is. Okay. I have about 6 different yarns here on the table. I'm not going to show you the ball band. I'm just going to show you the actual yarn. And I want you to guess. I want you to tell me what you think this yarn is. Okay. All right. So here we go. This first one should be a no-brainer. It should be easy for a lot of you guys. For some of you guys, you love this yarn. So here it is. Who can tell me what this yarn is? What yarn is this? Let's see. We've got Ice. We've got Picasso. Ice Rainbow. Okay. So someone actually put a little emoji of an ice cube. Hopefully I put replay back. I haven't checked. I want you guys to see these comments. This is Ice Yarns Rainbow Picasso. So if you got any part of that, good job. Now let's talk about this very quickly, because while I show you the yarn, I kind of want to talk about it. So they classify this as a medium 4-weight yarn. It's a thinner 4-weight yarn, and it's not chain spun. It has that hollow tube in the yarn where they blow the particles, and this is how this is created. Yeah, so it comes in a pack like this. As you can tell, I've used this. Not all of it, but it's Picasso, Rainbow Picasso, and they suggest a 5mm crochet hook for this. 5mm knitting needles, 5mm crochet hook, and it's got this like sheen on it, really shiny sheen, really, really nice. I think it comes in better from back here. All right. Yes, it's air spun maybe. There's this technology where they air spin it in here into like a hollow tube. Yeah, chain spun, hollow. Yeah. Anyway, there's that. Okay, great job for those of you guys who guessed this. Crinkle alert. I should be saying that. I apologize. There are folks who are sensitive to the crinkles, and they make sure to remind me of that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, let's move on to the next yarn of Guess That Yarn. Now, I'm not going to show you the ball band, but I'm just going to show you the yarn, and you need to tell me what yarn this is. What yarn is this? Any ideas? Do you need to see the full skein to know what this is? Let's see. We have Bernat blanket. So yes, this is Bernat blanket. This is a super bulky number 6 weight yarn. Most of their balls of Bernat blanket come in 220 yards. Most of them do, of just the blanket. Now, the super brights and all the other things, I haven't really checked that, but Bernat blanket comes in at 220 yards per ball. And they suggest an 8mm US letter L crochet hook for this. And it's 300 grams per ball. Very, very nice. And I will tell you, personal experience, personal opinion, the best hook to work this up with is a Susan Bates hook. It just glides like butter over most polyester yarns. Is this polyester? I believe. Yes, it's 100% polyester. I'll show you this. See where it says 100% polyester? So Susan Bates works beautifully with this yarn, or also, well, also your boy hooks, your Susan Bates hooks. I don't want to say Clover and More, because when you go beyond, I believe it is a J hook, it turns into like a plastic resin hook. So I haven't tried the Clover hooks with this, but I will tell you, like most metal hooks work really nice with the polyester. So good. All right, so let's put that over there. Next, guess this yarn. Ready? What yarn is this? Guess this yarn. It looks like there's an ombre effect going on there. And for bonus points, can anybody guess the colorway name? Let's see, we have Karen Chunky Cake, we have Red Heart, we have Red Heart Super Saver Ombre, we have Green Apple. All right. So this here is Red Heart Super Saver Ombre, and Green Apple is the name. Very, very nice. And so this is 10 ounces at 283 grams. A medium 4-weight yarn, and they suggest a 5.5 millimeter US letter I crochet hook. It's machine washable and dryable. You guys already know this, but for the new people who are new to crochet, it's always good for a refresher. So you will always hear me shout from the rooftops, all the things. So this up here is where it's telling you machine washable and dryable right here. Do not iron, which is that one, and do not bleach. So that's what that looks like right there. You have your knitting, you have your crochet, and your weight. It's a medium 4-weight yarn, 5.5 US letter I, 5. Is that a 5? They're suggesting a 5 millimeter knitting needle. So, oh yes, and let's not forget the Okotex. Thank you so much, Trish. The Okotex standard. It has been tested and approved against all the things. Not everything, just most of the things. Premier Yarns actually tells you on the ball band how many different tests, which I believe they say, let me see. Tested and approved against 350 harmful substances is what Premier Yarns puts on their yarn. So, yeah. Okay. Good job for those of you guys who guessed that one. Let me take a sip of the coffee. You love that color? Yes, me too. I do like it. Although I get told a lot like green isn't, people's color. I have a few right here where my finger is. But these other colorways, yeah. Now, one of the colorways that's really hard to get is this red one right here. They used to sell it at Walmart. They don't sell it there anymore. All right. I just have 2 more left of Guess That Yarn. This might be a little difficult, but I have faith in you. Let's see. So I'll tilt it so you can see it. What yarn is this? Anybody? Any guesses? Scarfy, Karen Cake, Premier Cotton, Mandala, Ice Yarn, Loops and Threads. All of these guesses are amazing guesses. Thank you so much for giving it a shot. Donna Mae and Kimberly says Color Fusion. Let's see. Clueless. I love it. So here is the yarn. It's Color Fusion DK yarn. It's 325 yards, 298 meters, 3.5 ounces at 100 grams. It's 100% acrylic. This is what it looks like worked up. I have to get me more of this. I only have 3. And let's keep rolling. The colorway is called Woodland, which you can see right there, Woodland. It's a light 3-weight yarn. It has been tested and approved against 350 harmful substances. You can't really see it. I'll get close with it. Maybe it'll show up. But it's suggesting a 4 millimeter US letter G crochet hook or a 3.75 millimeter knitting needle. It's pretty thin yarn, but it's pretty colors. So, wonderful colorway. Last but not least. Ready? Oh, man. I was trying to show it without showing the cake, the ball band. I guess I can't do that, can I? Some of you may have already guessed it, but I'll try better next time. Yep, you guys got it. Gradient yarn. Shucks. And I thought about it before going live. I'm like, how am I supposed to hide this ball band? Because it's a cake. But this is anti-pilling. everyday worsted gradient, 360 yards, 330 meters, 7 ounces at 200 grams. It's a medium 4-weight yarn. I don't know if you can see that, but it is suggesting a 5.5 US letter I crochet hook or a 5mm number 8 knitting needle. This has been tested and approved. 350 harmful substances, as you can see right there. Very, very nice. And it is machine washable and dryable. Let me show you something really quick. Look at that beautiful gradient. That's stunning. You don't see, there's no striping in that. That's beautiful. You guys are amazing. And it feels really good knowing that the vast majority of you guys can look at yarn and know exactly what it is, or you're relatively close, you know? So absolutely wonderful. I will tell you guys as well, this is a thinner 4-weight yarn. They're suggesting a 5.5. You can go with the 5.5, but I find hooking to an H, a 5mm US letter H, it gives you really, really nice stitch definition. And if you want that loose drape, go to a 6. Turns out really nice. Okay. So next week I'll be better prepared for Let's Guess That Yarn. I'm going to actually take blank sheets of paper and I'm going to cover the ball bands so you can see the full situation. And since I'm going to be doing that, I'm going to pick different yarns. So stay tuned. All right, let's take a look at some diagrams. So I have this one right here. We're going to walk through this. So we have this one. And the biggest question that comes up when you look at crochet diagrams, where do you start? You know, you look at these, and if you're new to crochet diagrams, you kind of need to know, like, where are we starting? So when you look at your diagram, all back and forth patterns, by the way, unless it states otherwise, goes from the bottom up, okay? And what you're looking for is, where do we go? Where do we chain up, you know? So you begin opposite the side that you chain up to the next row. So this is where your chain up is. So you're going to start right here. So you're going to begin by putting in all of these chains. You're going to chain 1, and then you're going to insert a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. And then you're going to skip, and then you're going to insert 7 double crochet stitches, skip, single, skip, 7 double crochets, skip, and that's the repeat until you get to here. And then with this part here, you're putting in 4 double crochet stitches. Okay. So it looks very similar. So Dawn is asking, is this the Catherine's wheel? It's similar to it, but not exactly. So anywho, when you're reading a pattern, pay attention to where you start. Also, you want to make sure, and I mention this every time, look at your chains on each side of the pattern for the back and forth diagrams. Look at your chains and make sure that your chains equal to the height of the stitch next to it. So you've got 3 chains here, and right next to it, you've got a double crochet stitch. So you know, size-wise, it's going to lay flat. Okay. And the other thing too is you want to make sure that your stitches have somewhere to go. So you see this big line right here, these big lines. Okay. All of that is going into one stitch. It doesn't look like it, but you will find that a lot of diagrams has this like real wide, it's got this wide line. That wide line is all going into like one stitch. And you're also like, you're forming all of this into one stitch. Okay, it's not a chain, right? Because you're doing 7 double crochets together. And then with the next row, you're going to come back around and you're going to insert 7 double crochets right into that stitch. And you're doing it here and here. Okay. So very, very interesting. What I was going to try and do, I don't know if it's going to work, but I have this feature on my computer where I can change the angle of the camera and I can have it come down here on the table. The only thing is I don't know if it's going to show upright or backwards. So until I figure that out, we're not going to do it, because when we started the live today, right, I was talking thinking that the microphone was on and it wasn't on. So let me see. Someone is suggesting that I use a Sharpie as a pointer, maybe. Is that easier? So yeah, I can definitely do that if it helps. If you see any of the chains sticking out from the pattern, they're not counted as a stitch. So something to really take note of. Also, if you see chains above stitches like this, they're being counted as a stitch. And this is one of those patterns where you will see chains being counted as stitches and not being counted as stitches. So you really want to pay attention to this. And a lot of times you will see basic patterns where either they're all not counted as stitches, or some are, all counted or not counted as stitches. I can't get the words out today. So I have this for you guys. It didn't print out as clear as I had hoped. But I prepared this. And it just didn't come out clear enough. I don't know if the verbiage or the words. I tried, but you've got this little legend down here. And what I will do is I'll play with this and try to get it more bold so that when I go to present it and show it, it's thicker. I tried. Hi, Shay. Welcome in. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Can anybody tell me what this is? What are we making here? What is this? Any ideas, guys? See, this is the first step. This is the second step. This is the end result. So let's see. Yes, for those of you guys who are guessing slip knot, that's what this is. Okay, and I say this a lot. There's many ways to get to a slip knot, but this is just one of the many ways. And for full transparency, sometimes when I look at these pictures, it makes no sense to me. I look at this picture right here and say, okay, how can I create that? So I have this and I have this. So the easiest way to create a slip knot is to just do this. There's many ways to do this. And when I do my tutorials, I actually do it this way. I hold the yarn on the hook like this, and then I wrap it around twice, take the tail, and I do all of this. But you don't have to do all of that to get to a slip knot. You can literally just take this, fold it over like this, pinch at the cross, see where I'm pinching, and then go into that hole and just pull the yarn through. And that's it. So yeah, I thought it was very interesting that there was this illustration that I could share with you guys. So yeah, in color too. In color, and I'm totally holding it upside down. So that is called a slip knot for the beginner crocheters, okay? That's a slip knot. So good. All right. The next thing I want to show you guys, I'm just all over the place. I want to talk about this for a minute because I don't think it's spoken about enough with yarn and trying to understand weights and everything. So how are these yarns classified? Like, what is the standard? And I'm going to, well, first of all, before I tell you, does anyone here know how the yarns are classified? Like, how do they come up with a yarn being classified as a 3-weight or a 4-weight or a jumbo or a lace weight? You know, does someone wave a magic wand and say, I bequeath upon this yarn a class weight of number 3, bam, and it's done? Or is there a process? What is that process? Okay, we have, let's see, CYC. Well, the CYC waves their magic wand for sure. They do Wingardium Leviosa, whatever that is. Wingardium Leviosa. Yes, for those of you guys that are saying wraps per inch, you are correct. And so I printed this from the CYC. And if you're not sure what CYC means, it's the Craft Yarn Council. And this is the chart that you can find on their website, wraps per inch by yarn weight. So if you're not sure what a yarn weight is, you can wrap around a ruler and you wrap around for 1 inch on like your standard straight edge ruler, and you count those wraps for 1 inch. And this is how they classify the wraps. So for a jumbo weight yarn, it's 1 wrap to 4 wraps. Super bulky is 5 to 6 wraps per inch. Bulky is 6 to 9. Medium is 9 to 12. Light is 11 to 15. A fine weight yarn is 12 to 18. Super fine 14 to 30. And then lace weight is 30 to 40. Swish and flick. I'm going to make sure these comments are turned on for the replay warriors because some of you guys are hilarious. Okay, so I'm putting that over there. All right, next I've got this little recipe that I found, public domain crochet diagrams. I found this, okay. But here we have what appears to be a candy cane. Let's talk about this. Very easy, right? So you chain 20. It's a chain of 20, and you start right here. You can kind of see where the arrow is, or the triangle. Remember the triangle? I've shown you that. There's the starting point, the triangle. You chain 20, and then you chain 2 to chain up, and it's not counted as a stitch. And then you're entering in 16 double crochet stitches going up. Oh, let me get my pointer. 16 double crochet stitches. And then in the last 6 chains, you're entering in twins in a stitch for the last 6. And then when you're all done, you're going to chain 2 and slip stitch into the last chain. And there is your candy cane. So does it work? Do all of these public domain patterns work? I don't know. We're about to find out. It's not going to take me long. So let's see what this looks like. And I will, where can I hang this? Hold on. I'm being creative here, guys. For those of you guys who want to try it with me. Hold on. No. 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 Wah. See, I would hold it like this, but, let's do it. I'll talk us through this. All right. So we begin with the slip knot on our hook, just like this. From here, we chain 20. So let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we start with a chain of 20. And then once we have our chain of 20, we chain 2 more to get, it doesn't count as a stitch, just brings us to the first row. So a total of 22 chains. And then in the third chain from the hook, we're going in with a double crochet stitch. And once we have that first one in, we're going to go down 15 more times. Actually, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Sorry, 14. So a total of 14. So that's 1. Let's do it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oops, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. And so we've got 6 chains left here. So in each of those chains, we're going to do twins in a stitch, 2 double crochets in each one of these chains. So let's do that. So that's the first twin. Here's the second twin. Here's the third twin. The fourth twin. The fifth twin. It's really curly right now. It's curling up pretty badly. And then the last one here, we've got twins. All right, so now according to this pattern here, once we've gone around, we chain 2 and then slip stitch into that last chain where we started. So let's do it. So we're going to chain 2 and then slip into that chain. Just pull everything nice and tight. Chain 2. Do I have scissors? Yes. So to me right now, doesn't look like much of a candy cane, but let's sort through this. Let's take a quick look. I'm not sewing anything in. Let's just cut that off. Okay. So not bad. Yeah. So we get a candy cane. Pretty awesome. Not bad. So again, it's in total chain 22. Go into the third chain from the hook with a double crochet and do 14 of those double crochets. And then in the last 6, twins in a stitch. Chain 2 and slip to close. That's it. Yep. And there you have it. That was fun. I like to test these freebie patterns because sometimes they're not accurate. They tell you to slip into a stitch that's not even there, you know? So be careful with those freebies, public domain patterns. They don't all work. Full disclosure, to be transparent. You know, some of them are AI generated and they make absolutely no sense whatsoever. So be mindful of that, okay? Sherry says the candy cane needs steam blocking. Yes. Yes, it does, for sure. Okay. Wow. We've gone through a lot of content here. We did Guess That Yarn. We did We did all the things. Terms. What else? The CYC information. We did measurements. We did stitches. I have some work here. I wanted to show you guys what, when I talk about different stitches being in projects and things, I want to show you guys that it's okay to explore with stitches. It's okay to play, right? Sometimes simple, you've got simple and then, you have, let's explore, let's play. So here's an example of where you've got the kitchen sink into a project. This is an oldie but a goodie. I've seen some of you guys make this, but this is a mandala. Isn't she gorgeous? All the things. But with this here, I mean, let's get close up and break this down. So just in this section alone, let's bring this down here. All right, so we'll start with this section right here. So we have an iris stitch and then a shell stitch, iris and shells, and then we've got drop stitches here, post stitches, double crochet stitches, single crochets. So when you play with the stitches, sometimes, not always, but sometimes it makes complete sense to just play, And here we have my favorite treble crochet stitch right here in this mustard yellow. You know how much I love a good treble crochet. So anyway, let's bring this back and show you back here. Absolutely gorgeous. I don't know why I chose these colors, but I have to tell you, the yarn that I used was the Premier's Just Yarn from the $1.25 tree. All of this. Back when it was 153 yards a ball. Yep. And I think I used 2 of each color. Yep, I used 2 of each color. So about 1,000 yards. Anyway, that's one that I made. And then we get into the simpler ones. The Sleigh Ride Slouchy. This is one of my patterns. The Sleigh Ride Slouchy. It slouches. We love that for us. But this here is basic, simple stitches that, in a repeat, create a wonderful fabric. So you've got rows of double crochet stitches and rows of half double crochet crosses for about 30 rounds or so. And then you've got like this basic ribbed crown, which is super nice. And then for the brim, double crochet stitches and front post. So when it comes to thinking about like stitches in projects, I always say, work it out, see what it looks like. If you like the fabric that it creates, keep going. If you don't like it, frog it. There's nothing wrong with frogging your work. It's annoying because of the time that you've invested, but like at the end of the day, if you're not passionate about what you just made, pull it back out. And this is Mainstays yarn, by the way. Mainstays in red. Wonderful yarn. And then we've got this one here. So this here is basic stitches. This entire thing is created with double crochet stitches. You've got double crochet windows, you've got granny stitch, and you've got double crochet stitches. Absolutely gorgeous. Timeless Reflections shawl. I've got a tutorial for this if you're interested in making it. But this is Karen Colorama Halo, and the colorway name is Sea and Sky. Absolutely gorgeous. It took 2 cakes, and I had a little left over. How many repeats did I do? Let's see. This is the initial section right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 repeats for this. Yep. And I used a J hook, a 6mm US letter J. Timeless Reflections, very small, and this are very soft. And this is the first time that I used a very like hairy yarn. And I'm not mad at it. It's very hairy. See it? It was a lot of fun to work with. At first, it annoyed me that I wasn't able to see like the stitch definition very clearly like you do with this. But then I thought to myself, you know, just keep working with it because it's really nice on your hands. And I did, and I actually liked it. So sometimes fight through it, you'll be surprised. And then what else do I have down here? I've got this one right here. So this is the Dappled Wake Beanie. So this is one of those earlier projects where I carried the color work of the yarn. So we did this crown from the very beginning. And then as we progressed through the work, we didn't cut off, we didn't tie off any ends. We actually carried that yarn up through the work and just transferred the color over to the appropriate color once we got to that round. So yeah. And this stitch here is the granny stitch. Is it? Actually, double crochets and double crochet crosses is what this looks like. Yep. Double crochet stitches and double crochet cross. Super, super nice. And this actually comes with another piece. So this is one part of a two-part piece. Do I have it in here? No. I don't have it in here. I ran out of time. I was rushing to get situated here. By the way, I had a really great dinner. And I'm like, should I just start the live at 7:15 and just, you know, finish my garlic bread? I said no. We have to go on at 7. So good. And Dawn is asking, is there a tutorial? So I have to tell you, there's a handful of my patterns that are on Etsy and Ravelry that do not have tutorials. And I do that to cater to those who just prefer to have the written pattern. And besides, I put out patterns very quickly as of late. And sometimes I can put patterns out faster than it takes to record a tutorial. So that's why you're not seeing some tutorials for projects out there. But with Let's Chat Stitches, the goal here is to give you guys the knowledge to be able to read some of my patterns. And actually, you should be able to read all of them because they are very simple in that we make them easy to understand. And I had a whole pile of my so I can show you guys this because I believe, hold on. Here's one. So the simple brim hat, right? If you turn it around, like I make it so that it's very easy to read. Chain 3 counts as a double crochet, insert 11 double crochets into the chain circle, slip to the top chain before the next stitch. So it is fairly simple. And I give you like the abbreviations and everything. So yeah, but there is a tutorial for this, I believe. All right. Hello. Welcome in, guys. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you guys. So that you know, every week from here on out on Wednesdays, I will go live. This will be my midweek live stream. It used to be Tuesdays. It's now Wednesdays. We moved it. I mentioned that last week. And for those who don't know, maybe you're just crossing paths with this channel for the first time, we're doing midweek lives on Wednesdays now and not Tuesday. What is your process for writing patterns? Do you just work it up and say that's a good one and then write the pattern up? No. So what I do is I sit here in this very spot and I pull my swatch yarn. I use, I don't know if you can see it, right here. This colorway right here is my swatch yarn, my practice yarn. I use Red Heart Super Saver Aran, and I sit here with a crochet hook and I crochet. And as I'm crocheting, I'm actually typing. So I type my pattern out as I crochet. And when I go to edit, I frog back or I add stitches or I do whatever I need to do, but I type and crochet at the same time. And then once my recipe is done, I actually have an editor that I send my pattern to, and my editor edits it into a format. And then once it's formatted, it gets sent back to me. And then I put a final review on it. And as soon as I approve it, I send it back to the editor. And then it goes out on Ravelry and Etsy. So that's the process. But in terms of design, it's trial and error, frogging it back, crocheting more stitches on, trying different things, making different prototypes of different stitches and things. Let's see. Is this one a swatch? Yeah. So this one here is just a swatch. Is it a swatch? It's an actual donation hat, which I'm going to show on Friday. But this is actually one of many pieces that I make in the process. So this is just one little example of an upcoming hat, but I made modifications to this because I wanted a brim on it. So this actually is not the final product. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, simple with color can make great gifts. Yes. Fiber, thank you so much. Fiber Girl says, love your lives. I appreciate that very, very much. Hopefully I'm not boring anyone to tears. Oh, so good. Writing a pattern is a whip in a way too, I would guess. Yes. So it used to be for me where I would keep these written patterns in piles like little swatches, but I committed to finishing whatever it is. You know, I don't know what you want to call this, but it's like an unfinished version of a written pattern. So like, while this is just one of many different ones that I made, variations, I still finished it so that I can get it out there to donate. But this isn't like what my pattern is going to be. So I don't know what we call that, but I think I've shown this already before. And I think the problem is it's not long enough. It's beautiful. I love how it lays, love all the things, but I need it to be a little longer. So about another, I need it to come to the bottom of my earlobe right here, the brim. I think that's where I got caught up, but yeah. Should we call this a pip? Pattern in progress. Thank you, Miss Reptile. We'll call it a pip. A finished pip. An FO pip. Yeah, we're going to call it faux pips. I have a bunch of faux pips. Do you remember all of your patterns so you don't end up making a pattern that you have already made before? In most cases, yes. I keep a Rolodex of my patterns. I have, I think, 80-something patterns written already since I've started writing patterns, which, by the way, guys, pattern writing for me has only been going on for about a year. So, well, a little over a year. And yeah, I've got that Rolodex. So as I'm working my pips, I actually look at my Rolodex to make sure that I don't already have this out there. Yep. That looks great with that sweater. Thank you, Yvette. I appreciate that. If it were only 1 inch longer, you know, and actually the thickness of the brim, I think could go a little thicker for me, but then also the length of the actual hat, like here. I think I would need to do another set of these repeats to make it longer and then make the brim longer itself. So we're almost there with this. Almost. I buy patterns to support the designer, but now I have too many to actually do. Well, I will tell you, I'm the same way. But what I do with my patterns that I purchase on Etsy, Ravelry, etc., is I put them into a binder. So, you know those see-through sheets, those protective sheets? Well, with each pattern that I purchase that I like, but maybe I'm not ready to do it, I put it into those clear sheets into the binder, and I can always go back to it, pull it up and look for it. So I can encourage you guys to maybe put it in a folder, put it into a binder, so it's always good to support the designer, because for a vast majority of us, it's how we make a living. So, and I'm sure you guys have all heard that before. If you know a crochet designer is putting patterns out, it's a really big way on how they're trying to support themselves. So have you ever been able to find a new stitch or reason to start something from any of the vintage books you have collected? So yes, I'm into them all the time. There's a piece here that I'm working on that was totally inspired. Actually, it's over here. That I was totally inspired from my vintage books, my vintage shawl designs. And so I took inspiration from several books, and by that I mean like how they spaced out their shelf stitches and how they laid their chain work out and how that correlated between the various stitches. And so I created something of my own. I'm about 50 rows in. It's a custom shawl that I'm working on, and there are no repeats. Every row is a different stitch cadence. So it's my very first custom shawl. It's taking me a while to do, but I'm doing it right this time. A year and a half ago, I tried it and I lost my pattern. Like I was writing it down and I lost the actual pattern. So this time I'm typing everything in, and I'm not allowed to show you. I've been sworn to secrecy, but I will tell you, this is it right there. That's all I can show you. I held it, I showed it, I put it right back. That's it. That's it. Just so that you know, I'm not talking into thin air. I'm not showing it. That's it. Love the green. Yes. So someone mentioned earlier, oh, I love this green. It's so good. Well, I like green too. So, and this is the yarn. This is the yarn that I'm playing with right now. Super, super nice. Anyway, any other questions? I love questions. I love that because I have so many vintage books. Yeah, it's really good to look at the pictures of the vintage books to just see how they laid out their designs and things. And if the books had like diagrams, look at those diagrams, see where, you know, they did their shells, how many stitches did they put in those shells and things like that. So, yeah. Get him, Kim, right? No, I made sure to bunch it up so you have no idea. Like, that's just a pile of fabric right now, but it's gorgeous, and I can't really speak to it because I've been working very diligently on that project in between everything else that I'm doing. I mentioned this to you guys before. I've got several things going on behind the scenes that I have yet to show. That's one of them. Very excited about that for us. So, yeah. Let's see. Any other questions? Q&A? Any questions? Oh, by the way, if there's anything that you guys would like to see in Let's Chat Stitches, replay, come back, type in your suggestion. I get those in the studio. I would really appreciate that. Do you know any colorblind crochets? No. I don't know. Kim is mentioning membership anniversary pattern is coming next week. Yes. So if you're a member to my channel here, all members receive a written pattern. And the way that's going to work is it's going to go into the community post tab, and it'll be under the members. And so you'll receive that notification at noontime, and it'll have a coupon code, and it'll tell you exactly what to do with that coupon code to get your free pattern. And it's just my way of saying thank you for being members to my channel. Thank you for your support. And it's to celebrate 2 years on the channel. So, yeah. Why do you have a pattern for the mandala? I have several patterns for mandalas. That one in particular, that one, I do not have a pattern for that one. I don't have a pattern for this one. But I do have others. So thank you so much, Kim, for gifting a membership, and congratulations to Kirsten for getting that membership. Super, super nice. Let's see here. Very nice. Good night, Zoma. Thank you so much for peppering in here. I appreciate you. Do you have a drop stitch tutorial? Drop stitch tutorial. No, I do not. I can pencil that into my list of tutorials that I need to do for sure. This is a new favorite segment. I love that. So good. So good. I really appreciate that. But yeah, I will put out a tutorial eventually. I've got a list of things that I have to put out first. So stay tuned for that. I'm no longer all clogged up. I don't know if you guys noticed, but over the last several weeks, I have been really under the weather, and finally I'm coming out of it, and I feel like I can record a tutorial without sounding like my head is stuffed into a glass jar. So that's amazing. Good night, Zoma. Let's see. Congratulations to Crafty for reaching 13 months. Yes, we have lots of members in here today. Thank you so much, guys, for your support. Thank you for watching. And you know what? If you're not a member, don't worry about it. Just keep coming. We randomly pepper in gifted memberships throughout. So you never know. You may actually come in here and get one day. Super nice. Good night, Tracy. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. And congratulations to Julia for 14 months. Been crocheting this long. Wow, that's amazing. I love it. So good. We have a lot of feel-good stories. Idea for what used to be Taco Tuesday, Wacko Wednesday. Oh, so good. Broomstick crochet. Yep. We're working on it. I just have to figure out a way to record it so that it makes sense for people. So we're working on it. Let's see. I love your show, Juan. Thank you so much, Kathy. I do appreciate you guys. I really do. So official Yarnetic level members get 2 free patterns this month. Fellow Yarnetic level members will receive a free pattern this month. So yeah, I don't really do that often. There special occasions I do that where all the members will receive like a pattern. But if you're an official level Yarn Addict, you get 1 free pattern from me a month. And guess what? The membership pays for itself with that pattern, because if you're purchasing patterns on my Etsy or my Ravelry, most of them are the same price as the membership. And so with that, you can just get the membership and then get your free pattern. So it's like a twofer type situation. But I totally respect those who just don't wish to be part of the membership. I totally get it. So have at all the patterns out there. And by the way, there's bunches of free patterns out there on Ravelry only, I believe. So if you're wanting some free patterns, I've got a bunch of freebies over there. Just, thumb through all of the things and you'll find it. Okay. Mama Wilma, how is she? Mom is good. Thank you guys. I see you guys asking throughout the live, but she's doing really well. She's resting right now. Thank you. Is a 2026 JTYA stitch marker coming? Stay tuned. We have 2 separate stitch markers as of right now. We've got the regular JTYA one that goes out with replay treats, and then we have the special edition 100K stitch markers. And so we'll see. We will see. One of the biggest cruxes of this whole thing with like stitch markers and all of that is the prices. I mean, call me a cheapskate. I don't care. But I think merchandise is expensive. I just think it's ridiculous. And then I think that it's largely because of the suppliers having to purchase the materials that they need in order to make these things for us. And, nothing's free. So they have to pay what they have to pay to source those materials. They have to make it. So we have to pay for their time. And then we go to advertise it. And I'll tell you what, like this one maker, I'll call this one a maker, wanted to work with me on a particular product. And traditionally, the product that they wanted to make for me would normally run about $20. Well, because of the price of everything, that $20 item has become like $39. And I said, well, there's no way that I can do that. I can't do that. I can't sit here and be like, oh, look at this, $39. It'll be yours for $39, it makes no sense to me. So while it's nice to have things with my name on it, I can't in good conscience charge people that kind of money for it. I just won't do it. So when the prices go down, then I will go ahead and do that. And if it doesn't go down, we'll be creative and figure out other ways. But I'm not trying to charge all this kind of money for stuff. It's ridiculous. We need t-shirts, yarn bags, and hats we can wear so we can brag about you when people ask if we can afford. You know, many people have reached out to me and said, hey, Juan, if we can afford it, we'll buy it. And if we can't afford it, we won't buy it. I get that part. The thing about it, though, is I talk about accessibility on my channel. I don't talk about just bougie yarn and hand-dyed yarn and places where you get things exclusive. I talk about deals and steals. I talk about buy one, get one free. I talk about coupons. I talk about accessibility. And because I do that, I come full circle with it, even when it comes to things with my name on it. So unless it's a decently priced item, I can't justifiably sit here and promote it. So that's just who I am as a person, because I feel like if I sit here and I talk about a $2 ball of yarn and how affordable it is, I can't sit here on the same live stream or on the same channel, mind you, and say, hey, I've got this $60 canvas bag with my name on it. You have to get it. It's amazing. It's all the things. It's $60, and yet it only holds 2 skeins of yarn. It's just not happening. So, yeah. Let's see. Next scheduled live stream Saturday night, date night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Yes. So good. And thank you so much, Monica. I appreciate that. And that's kind of that's the vibe I want to put out there. Yes. Okay. I can be a yarn snob just like everyone else, but you know, I also like my humble beginnings. I love my acrylics. So, let's see. Juan, do you have a star blanket tutorial? I never made one. I would like to make one. I'm an intermittent crocheter. Well, you're in luck because I do have one. It's called the Nova Crest. It's a 13-point star blanket. It's on the channel for both left and right-handed crocheters. That particular tutorial is broken up into 2 parts. There's a part 1, which is the centerpiece, and part 2, which is the outlier section. It's the repeat section. It's a longer tutorial, but I'm very thorough. The centerpiece is about an hour, and the repeat section is also about an hour. So just putting that out there. I do have one, but it's long. Let's see. Thank you guys so much for mentioning that I have it. I know that a lot of you guys have made it, so thank you. And if you noticed, if you missed the Whipping It with Juan on Monday, I kind of teased it. I had an 8-point star blanket, and I'm working on it. I also mentioned that I wasn't sure if it was going to be like a thing, but a whole bunch of you guys reached out and said, hey, Juan, maybe another blanket in the near future, another star blanket. And I have to tell you something, and I think that it's worth mentioning. There are all kinds of star blanket patterns out there. Etsy, Ravelry, YouTube, Facebook, all over. But I only have one on my channel. And so, you know, if you're worried about me putting out or not putting out any more star blankets, don't you worry. I only have one on my channel, and there's going to be a lot more than just one. There's going to be a lot of different things. So even if you're seeing it in hundreds of other places, none of that matters if it's not in my space. You know what I'm saying? So I want to have several different star blanket patterns. I want to have several stitch medley star blankets. I actually want to have a star blanket pattern that's just very basic and simple. And I just want to make sure that there's different things for different levels of crocheters, whether you're just brand new or you want something more intricate. So yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to have all the things. A good inexpensive acrylic sometimes works better than an expensive wool yarn. Yes, depending on what it is that you're making. Now, listen, I will be the first person to tell you that it's wonderful to have custom hand-dyed yarn and you can create this wearable sweater and all the things. Trust me, I get it. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. It's all the things. But when we're trying to spread the love of the craft, we need to promote accessibility. We need to bring people into the fold and say, hey, listen, you can do this craft without breaking the bank. And let's get you in the fold first, right? So when you come in, this is what you can start with. You can play with all of this. Here are the other options. So if you're looking for more exclusive yarn, go ahead and take that path over there. We'll be right here doing bits and bobs of all the things. But if you want some of that, you can go there. Or if you want to stay here with us, you can stay here. Or there's this other route that people have recently been taking. They have been going to the thrift stores and they're purchasing old sweaters, they're purchasing old blankets, and they're doing frog fests. They are pulling all of that stuff out. They're recaking all of that yarn and breathing new life into these older projects. They're recycling, they're upcycling, they're recycling the yarn. So it's your journey is, exclusive to you and where you want to go with your projects and things. But I got to tell you, for me, I'm just well-rounded. I try to do bits and bobs of all the things. So yeah, all the things, upcycling, taking a sow's ear and turning it into a silk purse. I think that's how they said it on Sister Act. And recycling can be a lot of fun. You do have to, be patient. You have to have a certain level of patience with that. I will tell you that. Patience is definitely a virtue. So anyway, being allergic to wool, I use acrylic more than anything else. Totally get it. Totally get it. And at this point in the juncture, I sometimes ask myself, do I have an allergy to wool? I don't know, because sometimes when I'm in here, and I had just moved all my wool around, I get very stuffy. And so I don't think I am. But, it comes to no surprise that sometimes we play with fibers that we have no idea that we have an allergic reaction to them until after we've already played with it. So, yeah, it's perfectly okay to play until you figure out where your parameters are and then just have fun with it. Do we have any other questions? I'm on for a few more minutes and then we'll wrap up. Hi, Linda. So happy to see you as well. You just learned of an allergy to a particular yarn. Oh, no. No. Carol, good night. Thank you so much for coming in. I wonder if you can be allergic to alpaca and okay with merino. So I heard, and please don't quote me on this, I thought alpaca was hypoallergenic. I thought it was actual like wool that people were susceptible to allergies. Is this true? I'll have to look. I don't have my phone. Normally I would check with you guys right here, but my phone's in the other room. I thought alpaca was hyperallergenic, which basically means you can work with that yarn and not worry about having an allergic reaction. I just learned about nooking. Have you ever tried it? Yes. I have some nooking hooks. I have tried it. Yep. Is it my favorite go-to? No. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I can do it. Krista, you're so welcome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming. One, can you recommend a shawl pattern for your peacock stitch? So for the peacock stitch, I would do a wrap. Just make a long rectangle or a rectangular wrap. It's a beautiful stitch, you don't want to have to worry about like stitch counts and things. Just take that tutorial, take that stitch multiple and just go until the cows come home. Make it arm's length, right? And then just work up that peacock stitch okay. A lot of you guys ask me like, Juan, I want to make a wrap. How do I measure for the size? General rule of thumb, and listen, this is not the end all be all. This is just my suggestion. So if you're making a a rectangular wrap, and you're trying to figure out like what size is best for you, chain to the length of your arms. Stretch your arms all the way out and go from tip to tip. Okay. And then you're going to work back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until you get to the length of your elbow to the tip of your middle finger. So that's how I measure. So from the elbow to the middle finger tip, and then your wingspan from tip to tip. That is generally how big your rectangular wraps can be. And they can be bigger. They can be humongous. But it's just the easiest way for me to be able to explain to you guys like how to measure for that. You're making a wrap with the peacock stitch. It's beautiful. One. So I was doom scrolling last night and came across a two row double crochet at the same time. How does that work? How would that look in a written pattern? Drawn. So when in terms of like symbols, I don't think there is a symbol for that particular stitch, but if I were to draw it into like a diagram, I would draw like a special abbreviated special stitch type situation where I would stack 2 double crochet stitches on top of each other. And I would illustrate that and put next to it, you know, this is a stacked 2-row double crochet stitch. And yeah, and normally you see that with linked stitches. You can link your stitches and just do like 2 rows at the same time. I believe, who is that? Nastasia? Nastasia has shorts where they do that, I believe. I don't think she's got the diagram picture, but I know she's done like the physical tutorial of like how to do 2 rows at the same time. Yeah, easy does it. Let's see. Alpaca is hyperallergenic for most people, but some are sensitive to it. My daughter is one of those people. Okay, very good. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. I do have to tell you, I love working with alpaca. Really, really nice, especially like an alpaca DK weight yarn. And I understand why they charge what they charge for it. So I don't get to work with it too often, but when I do, it's a lot of fun. That's crazy. I didn't know that was a thing. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. You have, oh, you know what? So in playing around, so you know how you can do the foundationless chain, like you could do a row of double crochets without having to do a chain. Well, you can literally do that with like all of the stitches. I was here playing with yarn and a hook, and I said to myself, I wonder if I can do the foundationless chain with like a row of single crochets. So I'm sitting here playing with that, and I'm doing it the same way that I would do a double, except I'm doing like a single crochet stitch, and I'm like, I'll be darned, it's working. How awesome is this? So yeah, you can do like a foundationless chain for a single, half double, double, treble, doesn't matter. So yeah, we may need to do some sort of like crochet with JTYA one morning, and I'll go through all of that, or you can find me on TikTok and I'll do that. I'll play around with those stitches and show you guys the way. But I was playing with it and I'm like, oh my goodness, this looks like I actually did a whole chain, and there was no chain. So would alpaca be warmer than wool? Honestly, I feel like they would be the same. I think, in my opinion, they're about the same. They just feel very different. Those foundationless stitches still confuse me. And you know what? For the longest time, it confused me too. And I think what really unclogged that confusion was understanding where the chain was being created. If you understand that part, and if you understand where you're supposed to put your hook for each part of that process, it gets a lot easier with practice. But I didn't understand like how that chain was being created without actually being created. Like I'm not sitting there chaining first. So how is that chain being made? So once I figured that out, it actually made a lot of sense. I'm like, okay, I got this. This is easy. The first time I did foundationless was single crochet. First time for me was double crochet. So going back to a single, I'm like, oh, okay. And that's kind of like how I figured how that all worked out. And I will tell you guys, for those who know how to do it, I highly recommend that when you go to do your stitch, regardless of the size, that you leave space for the chain. So if you make your stitches too tight, it's going to be very hard to go into your space to create your chain for the next stitch. So when you're doing foundationless, you're making the chain and the stitch at the same time. But if your stitch is too tight at the bottom, you're going to get this. Your work is going to slant in the wrong way. So to make sure it stays upright, you need to make sure that your chain is nice and loose so that your hook can go into that space and that you can continue creating those chains above your or below your stitches. So yeah. Will you add those to your tutorials? I would probably make shorts with those because it's one of those things where I can show you how to do it in like a minute. It's really that easy, like 60 seconds, maybe a minute and a half tops. I can show you how that goes. But yeah, I can definitely make tutorials. I can make little short tutorials. You guys can loop it. Just just let it play while you're playing with your yarn and be like, oh, I missed that part. I'll wait for it to repeat. I do that all the time. Yep. But yeah, I can definitely do that for you guys. No problem whatsoever. So, yeah, please do make that tutorial. Absolutely. I definitely will. So, all right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap up. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I just took note of the time. I'm looking over there. Do you use this very often? I do not, actually. I'm a chain person. When I chain with my work, I hook up one size. Like if I'm doing my work with a J hook, I'll do my chains with a K, and then I'll do my work with a J. So anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. It was fun. You guys have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys again for Saturday night date nights. Stay tuned for all the other things that are coming on the channel. And if you haven't already subscribed, consider subscribing to the channel. I would really appreciate your support. All right. So that's all for me for now. And until the next one, take care, guys. Bye.